Hey guys, thank you for joining us for our first live episode of the season of 10 Minute Misconduct. We are an unofficial FPHL podcast. We're super stoked to be back. Summer and the off season just felt like super long. Really quick before we get started, I
Really
want to give
long.
a huge shout out to Benchminer Hockey. If you guys have not checked out his Facebook page, his YouTube channel, or his podcast, go over there because he's always posting some dope stuff. He keeps you guys up to date on everything FPHL, SPHL. Sean's a great guy, so make sure you go over and check him out. So to
Thank you,
get
Sean.
started,
Thanks for the shout out.
yep, yep, thank you, Sean. So everybody, let's welcome Greg Hussey to the show. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you guys
Hey,
for
Greg.
having me. It's a pleasure.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you here. It looks like you're coming to us from the arena.
Yeah, we're down here in Baton, Louisiana.
All right, well, great. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you think of Baton Rouge being down there with it's a brand new team?
It's a brand new team. There's a lot that goes into it, but I give them credit. This is a real special place to play some hockey. You don't think hockey when you think Louisiana, but fun place to
Yeah,
play.
I've heard some
All
amazing
right.
things about the culture. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
your fans, your numbers are crushing everybody else's. So, I mean, even on Wednesday night, I think there was like almost 4,000 people there, and that's outstanding.
I come from up north in Boston, and to get anywhere around the numbers that we got on Wednesday night, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So,
So
have
nothing
you
but
your interactions with your fans? Are you having positive interactions so far?
yeah, honestly, like I we're getting off a little bit to a slow start. We only got one win under our belts here. Um, a lot goes into these, stuff like that, and take your lumps here and there. But I wish I could personally thank every single one fan that comes here and plays up. It's loud. It's not just here. There's a presence. And it's like I said before, it's something real special to be a part of this down here.
And even in the community, people know you guys and are excited to probably see you guys out in the community as well. Probably.
Yeah, we've had a couple meet and greets. It was a trunk or treat a couple weeks ago for Halloween. The fans are very, very happy. All we keep hearing is, finally there's hockey back in Baton Rouge, and the fans are it's obvious because they're here.
So you were in net the night that you got your first franchise win. What was that like? I mean, was the locker room buzzing?
It was the guys were ecstatic. They could really keep it together. They're so the fans, the whole organization. There was high fives, hugs, laughs. There was a couple girls that work in the office, and I think they said to one of our other guys, Pete, down here, that they're like, we think we're gonna cry. We think we're gonna cry. We've seen this. This has been our. We've started this up, and it started from picking out the jerseys to the logo to this to that, and to finally see it all come together finally and finally get a win at home here. It all came together, and it was emotional for some people. So I'm absolutely privileged to be part of it.
I'm
But
sure that arena was loud. That arena
it's
probably was loud and rocking. Probably couldn't hear yourself speak or talk.
it's loud. It's real loud in here. You don't think it in 3,000 people in a 7,500 person arena. It doesn't look that packed, but it is. It is. It's decently packed. This place is buzzing on a Wednesday night, on a Friday night, especially. Saturday night, I don't know. We can't compete with LSU right now, but
That's tough.
Yeah.
respectfully so. That's okay. So.
So, how is the team coming together? How are you guys meshing? You've got some veteran players like yourself, your brother, for instance, and MJ Graham. How is that going?
It's going very well, honestly. You got the right guys in here. Brendan does a great job with helping the rookies understand, set plays, what are we looking for, and I think I have a little bit more of a voice of what's the expectation day in and day out in practice, on and off the ice. And obviously, MJ Grant brings a world of experience with him as well. With the amount of time that he's put in, he got his, I think it's 100th goal or something in the league the other night.
Yeah.
Huge accolade for him. But yeah, I think that's part of the reason that the organization has had us down here. They've seen us around the league before, and they know what we bring to the table night in and night out. It's going to be everything that we got, whether it's a win or shy of a win. It's we're going to come hard and we're going to give you a strong game.
I'm sure your veteran experience carries on the locker room, doesn't it? Especially with the newer guys and the new people around the team and all that stuff. Your experience probably comes in very well, does it?
It does, and I remember my first year over in Danville with the Dashers, and I remember Mo Lavac and Dustin Henning. These are some of my leadership group in that room, and those guys knocked it out of the park, and trying to just carry on things that I saw them work with me hand in hand with and help me become a pro and stuff like that. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
So let's take it back to the beginning. Obviously hockey is in the family. What got you started? Like, let's hear about that.
So I'm the firstborn. I'm the oldest of four. It goes me, my sister, my other brother Cullen, and then Brendan, who's the youngest. And the difference between Brendan and I is 7 years difference. And my dad played, so that's why I'm a goalie. My dad was a goalie. He still is to this day. If you ask him, he's got 2 new hips and he's still kicking. He says he'll give Jonathan Quick a run for his money. I know he's listening now.
Okay.
I think he's upstairs a little bit, but to each their own. So yeah, it started back home and up in Boston, and dad loved the sport, still does to this day. It runs through the family. My sister was the captain of the high school team. She went on to be Plymouth State University. She played over there. My brother played at Bryant University, my brother Cullen, but he's got a good job at home now. So I mean, he's just working a 9 to 5. Recently, just got engaged. Congratulations to him. And then Brendan and I are still the dreamers of the family. So we're still just living that dream. And like I said, on a Wednesday night, I'd probably be at the local rink playing in a men's league game anyway. But to play it here in front of 3,000 fans and get a win for an organization, I'll gladly do that instead. So
absolutely. And I was, go ahead, Ed.
I was just speaking about getting your starts. Where'd you get your start at? Like I thought, like I saw something like Eastern Junior Hockey League or something like that. Is that where you got your start at? East GHL?
I'm an old guy. I'm not a young buck here. I'm 33, so I was a 90 birth year. And I played back in the EJHL, which is the Eastern Junior Hockey League. I started out in the Empire League, which is like their B team and kind of supplies their EJ team. So when I was really young, I played down there. That league was incredible out of Boston. You had so many guys that went D1, NHL, so many commits. It was one hell of a junior program that they had going on. I was with the Bay State Breakers down south of Boston, and then eventually I ended up getting traded to the Valley Junior Warriors, which is just north of Boston. So unlike a lot of kids who end up leaving at 14, 15, 16 years old to go play juniors, I was fortunate enough that I had those teams. I could make those teams at a high junior league around me, which was very fortunate because I got to live with family still, and it made it a little bit easier and didn't have to say goodbye to family that as soon as most hockey players do sometimes.
Well, that's beneficial.
Yeah.
So I wanted to mention to the people watching, feel free, we're going to watch the chat. So if you see me kind of looking over, to the left, I'm just reading the chat, and we do have some questions in the chat for you. So I wanted to get started with, where is it at?
I'm totally without a tablet right now. I'll have one next week. So yeah. So I'm all up. I'm just like everybody else for you, Anna. Go ahead.
Lee Marion asks, how does the game day atmosphere in Baton Rouge compare to the other places that you've played?
Oh, so game day here is definitely something special. It's a spectacle. So everyone, even the workers, they're all looking, they're all paying attention, see what's going on. If I'm walking through the concourse like I usually do before a game, and I got my headphones on, smiles everywhere. You can feel it. You can feel it starting. You can see the line outside the door starting to pile up. So it's nice to kind of see it. Like the facility here it's beautiful. It's a real nice spot to watch hockey. With that said, I have played. I've had the privilege of playing in Carolina with a playoff crowd, sold out crowd, and I've won a double OT game to keep going on in the standings. And I got to tell you, I don't think there's anything that compares to Carolina as of right now, just because of how recent that was in my in my history. But I got to tell you, this is a close second. This is a real close second out here. Watertown was always great, but Watertown's a smaller venue. It always was a smaller venue, but even though they packed house in there, it's a family town over there. So I mean, I got nothing bad to say about Watertown either. But probably my top two are probably Carolina and here. So this is a pretty close comparison. So.
How the fan base is different. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anna.
Oh, it's okay. I just saw a question in the chat from one of our other hosts that isn't with us at the moment. He's actually a Carolina fan, and he said, "What are your thoughts on the Carolina trade after the deep playoff push?"
Which trade is he referring to?
I think he was referring to the fact that once you came from Watertown, you absolutely, I think, blew Carolina away when you just absolutely carried them through playoffs. And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But that is truly when I became a Greg Hussey fan. You're absolutely an amazing goaltender. And I truly think they made it as far in playoffs as they did because of you. So I think what he's asking is how do you feel about, I guess, being traded to Baton Rouge this season?
I'm not gonna lie, out the gate it hurt. Carolina, it grew on us so quickly. The fans in Carolina, if any of you guys are listening or watching, my brother and I, my family and I, we can't honestly thank you guys enough for making it feel like home. And that late in the season to jump around to a different team, a lot's gone on already. So it's very difficult to get comfortable and settle in. And I got to tell you that there's people in Carolina that I'll never forget for the way that they helped us, the way that they were cordial and nice and welcoming to my family, my dad, my sister, my brother, her husband, my brother-in-law. Like everybody was just family. Oh, you're part of the Hussies family. Come on over. What do you need? Like it was absolutely like it's emotional me even talking about it right now. I can't thank the Carolina fans enough. So it was difficult to leave that. But that's part of the profession though. It is business. Whether you agree with it or not, these are the punches that you have to take and you have to roll with them. You can't kick and scream and say you don't want to go or speculate what it's going to be like or anything like that. At the end of the day, hockey's the number one thing that we want to do here. So even though it may not have been the best or the favored decision of what happened, I'm still making the best of it down here, and I'm blessed to still get to play with my brother and also to experience a different major city like this. It's been a wild ride of emotions. I can tell you that.
Just to, I guess, build on that question that Anna had, within a question I had from another fan, is I know things are kind of chaotic for you right now, but do you see yourself maybe wanting to go into like another league even further, or are you okay where you're at right now in the FPHL, or would you like to eventually get up to maybe the ECHL level?
It's difficult to say to an organization like I would like to move up. You know, it's never anything against that organization, but as individuals and as athletes, we know that our time can always be limited. Sometimes we step out there, it could be the last time we play, and you never know. So that's why when you step out there, you give it everything you got. But with that said, I would love to move up. I would love to move up. I train with a lot of NHL and AHL guys that back home in Boston that I've played with in the Eastern Junior Hockey League. We played against each other. We've had rivalries with Trevor Van Riemsdyk, Connor Sherry, just to say a few guys like that. And I know the level that I can compete at. I would like to, as I'm getting older, I think I bring a little bit of a veteran presence. So I would like to see if maybe that can help get me to a different league at times. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I love it here. Don't get me wrong, but to move up is, I think, any athlete's goal always, to play at your highest level and compete as high as you can and see what you're made of. And that's what I think.
I'd like to add one more thing. About how much longer do you think you have in your playing career? Do you have like another 5-10 more years, you think?
Oh, I mean, you think of like goalies like, who retired recently? Anderson. He was 41. And it's like, as long as you take care of yourself, you can still play. And I've always said as a goalie coach that the position for goaltending is it's like a fine wine. It gets better with age. You understand so many things better. You read plays easier, and you're able to manage your emotions as you get older a little bit better. And that plays a major role in the position. So yeah, I would love to play another 3 years, honestly, 3-4 years. I would absolutely love to, but life gets in the way. Financially, it can be tough sometimes. So it's, there's pros and cons that go either way, and it can be swayed with a bad trade. It can be swayed with maybe an injury. So it's you always want to play as long as you can, but you always don't want to push it too far.
What are your future plans like after, the time comes, and hopefully that's a long time from now, but when that time comes, what's your future looking like?
So if you ask some of the guys that I play with, I'm definitely more of a equipment manager guy. I am a big gear guy. I love I love doing all that stuff. I like to whether I'm fixing my brother's chest pad or something like that because it came off in a scrum or in a fight, or I'm sharpening skates, putting name tags on jerseys on the back of your jerseys, the helmet stuff, visor stuff. Like, I love all of that stuff. So I could always reach out, and I got a couple favors to ask a couple people, but I could see that happening. And then with with the goaltending experience, like, who knows, if you needed an e-bug on the team and I'm already there, then suit me up, send me out. I love this life. So as of right now, I left the sport. I left the sport way back. I left for 5 years. I was a UPS driver, and it never sat right with me the way I left it. So I came back. I just came back. I have to be a part of the game, the sport. I have to give back to it. It's given me so much. So whether it's coaching, which I do consistently through the summer, or maybe something with an equipment manager job in a league somewhere, who knows what's going to come. But I know the more that I stay in the league, or relevant and keep playing, that more opportunities keep opening up for me. So
I think it's extremely inspiring that you said, like, you just felt like you weren't done yet and you came back. And I know there's probably other people that weren't able to do that, and has always had that, like, oh, what if this and what if that, and honestly, like you said, having an e-bug just there, that's amazing, because you're right, you never know. Like, put me in, coach. That's pretty awesome. And so again, we've got some more questions in the chat. I wanted to ask from a guy named Mike. I actually know him. He is currently one of my billets. He's plays in the NA3. He wanted to know, where did it go?
Hey, Mike.
What advice do you have for the younger generation to succeed in the future with hockey? Okay, we may have just
I'm
lost
having
Greg.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Greg.
sometimes things happen when we're
Greg.
live, so just give
You
us a
hear me?
Greg.
second.
Greg.
I
Are you there?
Can you
I
hear
think
me?
he's. Yep, I can hear you.
I can hear you,
Okay,
Greg.
all right. I'm sorry. My
That's okay.
my phone was dying, and I
Oh,
didn't
no
want to have
worries.
that catastrophe happen, so I had to run real quick to grab my cord.
Hey,
So
that's
I
perfect because it
apologize.
shows, running live, you never know what's going to happen. So no
Nope,
worries at all.
nope.
Exactly.
I thought I had enough juice. Apparently, I didn't have enough juice.
Totally unscripted, right? Totally unscripted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going wrong.
So were you able to hear the last question?
I heard parts of it. If you could please rephrase it, I would appreciate it.
Sure. So one of the players I've had the pleasure of building, this is his second season with us. He currently plays for the NA3. He wanted to know, what advice do you have for the younger generation and succeeding in hockey for their future?
The number one recommendation I give to any kid that loves this sport and they have the skill, just pay attention. If coaches haven't told you to go away, or you're making it hard, making it hard for coaches to make a decision, and maybe you didn't make that team or something like that, but you still love the sport and you know that you love the sport. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't quit. Just keep pushing on. I'm 33 years old. I've spent a lot of time away from the sport, and it always resonated with me. Regardless, I always thought about my positioning or situations in games, and I'd just be, heck, when I was working, I'd be driving the UPS truck. I'd just be thinking about backdoor saves or something like that, or reading the play through, seeing the puck through the blue line through the tip. Like that's stuff like that. Like that, that's real. That's real. And you can't let that stuff go. So as long as your heart's in it and you love it, don't give up and just keep working every single day. At the end of the day, no one's going to outwork you. You're going to find a home. You're going to find a home. You're going to get better. You're going to excel in the sport. That's the best thing about this sport, especially the position. It doesn't matter. Don't get discouraged if you're too young, because time tells all. So that's probably the best piece of advice I can give them. Just don't quit. If you love it, just stick with it.
I have a fun question here that you'll probably know who this is. Who is your biggest fan, your mom or your Aunt Marianne?
Oh,
No. Uh-oh.
You said we could pass on questions.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I did say you could pass if you want to. Pass. Got it. Okay.
Oh, that's a close tie. That's a close tie. So my relationship with my mom's very happy that I'm doing something that I love and I enjoy. I wake up every day, and she supports me 110%. My Aunt Marianne is probably the most competitive person in our family. Hands down, no questions asked. Whether
Oh.
card game, pickleball, golf, it doesn't matter. So she's definitely got a little bit more fire in her. So if I let up like 2 goals in the first, she's like, you let them score first. You let them score first. I told you not to let them score first. I'm like, if it was only that simple, Auntie. So yeah, it's close. They both. I'm grateful for both of them. I have it's almost like 2 moms in that situation. So
Shout out to
Another
Mom
little
and
fun
Marianne. Hey guys.
little shout out. There you go. Did you have to actually learn how to do the Zydeco before you joined the team? Or what is
I
a
didn't know.
Zydeco for the people that don't know what it is?
I didn't know what it was. Brendan and I were looking up. It's a dance, right? It's a style of dance. In music, yeah. So we didn't know. No, I don't think that was not a prerequisite to be on the team. No.
It's funny.
Oh,
I actually, I have a friend that lives in Louisiana and actually Mississippi, and I asked her, can you tell me how to pronounce this properly before not this episode, but couple episodes back, I was like, I don't want to say it wrong because I definitely was not saying it right.
Yeah, no, I wasn't either. Honestly, first time I heard about the team in the league, I remember. I don't know if it was you guys or maybe it was Bench Miner. They posted the photos of like the leaked of the jerseys.
Yeah.
And, like I remember seeing the jerseys. I was like, wow, those are pretty cool. Like those are some pretty sweet jerseys. But I didn't know how to pronounce it. I was like asking guys if they knew. So, but we figured it out real quick once the season started up. So.
Do you play video games at all by any chance? I have another question from one of our followers. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's more my brother. He's the video game guy, 100%.
Oh, okay. Then I don't need to go any further. Do you want to know what was your favorite video game that you played? So
my favorite video game, if I'm playing video games, so like it's either I'll hop on the sticks for Chell. I'll play some Chell. But lately I've been playing F1 racing. Like I'm a big car guy, so like cars and anything like that with motors, like it just will occupy my mind for hours. So like yeah, I'll hop on and play Formula One and stuff like that, and go through the careers and see if I can beat my lap times and stuff. But yeah, that's probably my favorites.
This is another good question from Erin Tiffany. She asked, what is the best chirp you have hurled your way, or you've had hurled your way?
It was probably when I was playing in the SP in Fayetteville. It was the heckler that they have out there. So you walk out in Fayetteville, you walk underneath the stands, and you walk right out onto the bench. So right there on like the level where the ice is, they have tables. So the heckler in Fayetteville sits right next to our bench as we come out, and he has like signs and stuff like that. So he found out how old I was when I was there, and he asked, "Hey Huss, isn't it time for you to quit and maybe get your AARP card?" So that was probably the best part. So
that's tough.
Yeah, tough one.
Wow.
We became friends ever since. We did a jersey swap last year, and when I was in Watertown, and yeah, he became a good friend. But yeah, stuff like that. That's what helps make this sport that much more fun on the ice. I wish some of the fans could hear it more too, because some of it's pretty priceless.
That's awesome. Do you have any more questions, Anna, for the people online?
Yeah, we've got time for two more. So from Sam Wentz, will the Hussey brothers always come as a package deal?
So this year, we knew that it's one of those things that we've lucked out for the past 3 years now, where we've been blessed to play with each other on the same team. It really doesn't happen like that all the time. Maybe like you can get a year or two out of it, but like it's to be able to be that guy in the net, and then for it to be able to be maybe that guy in the face-off circle consistently and being healthy, like it's difficult. So no, we know that to answer that question, no, we know that we can't always be a package deal. And we're aware of that. Being able to live with each other is like honestly, like sometimes, like we said it the other day, like sometimes we just take it for granted. We don't even realize it because it's just like that's just how it's been. But there's situations like before we came down here, we didn't know, like, what you have your conversations like, what if Carolina doesn't have us back, or what if ends up, what if somebody else needs a goalie, or what if I get called up, or what if he gets called up, or so right. It's not always a package deal, but we're grateful that each organization that's seen one of us has seen two of us, or the both of us, and I think that speaks volumes for the kind of individuals that we are and what we bring to on and off the ice.
Okay, so gosh, I wish we had more time. Like, there's so much more stuff that I want to ask you. But two things I wanted to say. Last year, you donated a goalie stick for the Fire Relief Fund auction that we did, and I just wanted to tell you thank you again. That meant so much.
Thank you.
The guy that received it actually is one of the hosts on the show that lost everything. So that was really amazing of you. And I think Emily, the winner, is in the chat too. So you have to go back and look at some of the comments. But we wanted to close out with, is your dad the best 59-year-old goalie in the US? And that comes in from Chris H. So I'm thinking Chris Hussey.
Oh.
He's the best super fan, that's for sure. He's I haven't seen him play, so to be determined. I haven't seen him play recently, so I don't know. And last time I played against him, but I wasn't goalie. I played forward, and I think I had like 2 tucks on him. So I don't know.
You guys might have to do a little
wow.
competition if you get home for Christmas or the off season.
Sure, absolutely. No, he's definitely he's out of his mind. That's what he is. He's nuts. But yeah, at least on that side of the Mississippi, he's the best one. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, there you go.
That's fair.
That's nice. That's
fair.
nice.
Right. Yeah.
But
okay.
Thank you for being here. You were great.
Yeah, you're awesome. And I gotta say, you're absolutely incredible in that. You know, somebody at the top put one of the best 5 goalies in the Fed, and I don't believe that. I think definitely top 2. And I'm biased because I'm a Dragon fan. But I will say, last weekend when you bodied one of our boys, I was actually kind of impressed, and I hated that a little bit, but I also loved it. So
I felt bad, but like in the situation, like I had to make a play, and he was right there, and you make the hockey play, and I got to get back to the net. So it wasn't anything malicious, that's for sure. We kind of waved to each other afterwards, make sure we were okay, and like I told a couple of the guys over there, I know half the team, so I told them, hey, tell them I'm sorry. I just had to make the play. But yeah, typically that's not me. Like I said, I'm older. I want to continue to play, and that's not my forte. So
for sure. Well, awesome. I just want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll have to have Brendan on later in the season to get the other Hussey perspective.
Yeah, thank you. And to all the people that are watching us and all that stuff, thank you for joining us. We're going to be doing this quite often, so it's only going to get better from here. So join us next time. And thank you, Greg, for being here.
Yep, and you guys show Greg some love in the comments because he's been a great guest, and we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing how things go for you this season.
Thank you guys very much.
If you like Greg, hit the like button.
All right, y'all. Well, we will catch you next time.
Bye, Greg.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's episode.
Great show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an awesome show. Greg is absolutely, he's awesome. You know, I'm looking forward to having his brother on, hopefully, and it was cool that his family came in the chat. Just really quick, again,
this is our first one, right? First one of the year. We got plenty more coming. Wow.
Yep, this was our first live this season, and yeah, we're hoping to do it on a more regular basis. And we got a couple summer episodes we're going to drop maybe on like Thanksgiving week. You know, we're going to take a little time off for the holidays. So we hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. And we wanted to once again give Bench Minor Hockey a shout out. If you have not checked out his podcast, his Facebook page, his YouTube channel, he's awesome, covers the Fed and the SP. And, you know, we won't get too deep into this subject, but I did want to mention there was an arrest made with the player and the Adam Johnson situation over in England. So nothing more has come out that I've seen thus far. So we'll try to update as soon as we know something. And yeah, just want to shout out our sponsor as well.
I mean, if you want to leave a comment what you think about that situation, dude, that would be cool. Just drop it in our comment box below.
Yep.
But yeah, go ahead. Let's sponsor.
And if you guys will stay tuned for the news that is coming in tomorrow, we got a
big
trade. Big one. Yep, you're right. Absolutely.
One. Oh,
I think everyone's going to recognize the name, so keep an eye out for that.
Do you want to drop a hint? No.
And just the last thing I wanted to say, if you guys could just subscribe to our channel so you can interact in the chat, check out our Facebook page. And if you have any information that you ever want to send in to us, you know, we can keep you completely anonymous. We have an email. It's on our Facebook page. So feel free, and our inbox is open. So usually like we're pretty quick to get back to you guys. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. So we'll catch you guys in the next one.
We appreciate it.
Yep, we appreciate y'all
being here. Thank you.
on the chin. Just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak.